All right, welcome to Stand Up. It's two hosts, Fede and Raj. We'll start out with Stand Up. Go ahead, Fede.
I've been working on the Stripe integration. Uh, I'm loving Stripe so far. It's so easy to
Mhm.
work with. So yeah, I'm about to finish probably today or tomorrow. Should be done.
Nice. We'll be able to once it's ready. Let me know. I'll go and do end to end. I have another for my HOA. I set up a Slack instance. So I don't need a paid account, so I can install
No.
the app end to end and see how it goes.
Yeah, I still need to work on the tiers on the front end side, but on the Stripe side should be working.
Okay. Well, when you have the front end stuff done, let me know. I'll do a full end to end.
Sure.
All right, fantastic. And then I'll make video. I need to get access to our Upboard on TikTok, so I can start creating ads there. I'll just find some AI platform to animate, videos about how great a Haley
Yeah.
is. The one of the tricks for marketing on like TikTok or some of these platforms is make it seem like it's a third party um, account that's talking on behalf of this great AI tool. You've seen, I don't know
Yeah.
if you're on any of these platforms, are like, learn 10 crazy AI tools that'll make you super efficient and make you make more money. So I'll see if I can generate some cool content there, and I'll find some cool AI tool to do so. And I'll probably ask Ralph for help, but I'll streamline. I'll be point person on that, so we start doing good marketing on that. And then we'll have time to start working on the semantic search.
Yeah.
And I think what was his code name? Com Trues.
Come through. Yeah.
Com Trues. He's been working on it. So once you've hammered that out, then jump over there and we can start working on that. And we'll do the same thing where we'll do the hosted version where we host it ourselves and we store the individual embeddings for each, message.
Yeah.
And then after that, the option for them to store it in their own database so that we don't have all their messages for privacy reasons. Um, all right, great. And what else? I still haven't worked on my. I have to work on my speech, my brother, this Saturday. That's
No,
important.
no AI allowed.
No, yeah, I did go on ChatGPT and ask for an outline, and it's like these are the topics you can talk about, but I didn't ask for content, so I was
Okay.
asking for a good breakdown.
Instructor. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. One section was like talk about the benefits of marriage, and maybe I'll tell some marriage jokes or something. I don't know. So I need to spend a lot of time on that. So I'll do some marketing today, and then work on that. Well, I'll work on that first and foremost because I can't go up there and be like, I didn't write anything, guys. Here's an all AI generated script. I was told not to, but I'll do it anyway. And ideally, I'd want to memorize it. And that takes time. Anytime you're giving a talk, you want to practice, practice, practice. And even when you do that, if you actually start when you're doing it live, you can forget, right? And then be like,
Yeah.
ah, shit, it frees up
Yeah,
my
I,
brain.
I, I always try to not memorize like the entire thing, just things I need to talk about, because if you do that, you forget one word and you're done. You can't
Yeah. Well,
continue.
well, if you're doing
So
like a remote job and you're doing a presentation off of Zoom or Teams or whatever. So my trick for that was I write out the whole speech, each slide that I was presenting, and I could actually go and read it. But I would have to make sure that when
right,
I read it, it's you want to make it look like you're looking at the camera, right? So as you're scrolling, your eyes
you
are
can
kind of.
use AI for that now.
Yeah, I did see a tool that does.
Yeah, I have it installed. Let me activate
It's
it.
free.
Yeah, camera. Let me see if it works. Yeah, it works. It looks like I'm looking at the screen, but I'm not.
Oh
I can
damn.
I can read everything. and
What
it looks like
can you share that in the comments? That's a pretty cool.
yeah, it's called NVIDIA Broadcast. Let me deactivate because it looks weird.
Always looking at the camera. All right, I didn't know that. So it's not a part of the app that you're using, but it's like getting in front of your GPU.
Yeah,
Or it's,
you have to have an NVIDIA CPU.
oh, you have to. I have no idea
Yeah,
what my MacBook Pro has installed. It might be NVIDIA. I don't
yeah, I
know.
don't know.
Cool. Speaking of NVIDIA, their stock is just going through the roof.
Yeah,
There's if you look at their, here, let's analyze their stock. Let me present. Share screen. NVIDIA stock. Okay, so you see my screen?
yep.
So they're at 416 today. Over the past 5 years, 6x return. So if you invested 6 years ago, you would have 6x your money.
I wish.
And even over like the pandemic period, it was doing really well. Then it took a big hard dip. So if you got in at October 14th, 2022, you still got a really crazy return if you sold now. If you look at their actual financials, the last revenue, so this is earnings report in April of this year. Their revenue actually went down 13.22%, but their net income and their profit margin shot up. So they're selling less, but they're making more in terms of revenue or in terms of profit. And so that might be due to just cheaper chips. It's just cheaper to make the product. And they never pass that savings down to the consumer. They just jack up their profits, which is, that's how the game is played. You have to go and make more money quarter over quarter unless you want your stock price to drop. You rarely ever do you pass on the savings to your consumer because at some point there's not really any real competition, right? These got NVIDIA is like a monopoly at this point. There's like AMD. What are some other GPU makers?
No, it's mainly NVIDIA and AMD.
Yeah, so there's not really here. You have AMD stock. Let's look at them for the past 5 years, and they are. If you bought in at $15 or so back in 2018, you would have been still really good return. Even more if you bought 5 years ago. 6 and almost a half x your money. More if you sold at the peak in November 19th, 2021. So even these guys, but their market cap is like way smaller. So NVIDIA's market cap is like 1 trillion plus, and AMD's is 179 billion. So when you're that much bigger than your competition, you can just shut them down wherever they're trying to make a move on you. So, and their financials are not looking good. So March 2023 is when they did their earnings report. So they're at 5 billion something, which is down 9% from last time. They're losing money. So AMD is a money loser. Net income is down 117%. Their net profit margins are down, which if they were...
I guess every big company loses money, right?
So NVIDIA is making money, right? NVIDIA somehow is able to sell less and make more profit, more net income. AMD apparently are run by dummies and weren't able to do the same thing, right? So their net profit went down. So it could be like your supply chain where they were able to negotiate better rates with their manufacturer, and AMD wasn't able to. So they're not getting the benefit of lower cost goods. Their COGS are not as good. So although they beat expectations, but yeah, their earnings per share good beat. and then a little bit of a beat on the revenue. So doesn't matter if you're beating these. Well, it went up. So let's see here. In March, it took a dip after the earnings a little bit, and then it rose up again. Now it's in a little mini dip. But if you're talking about the two big players are NVIDIA and AMD, there's not really much competition here. Anyone that tries to compete with these guys, they get crushed. They do dirty tactics. They will lower their goods to starve you out. And it's
Yeah, I guess
expensive.
it's really hard to compete against companies at
Yeah.
this scale, and it's hardware. It's not like software. I guess for
No.
software it's easier, but
Yeah.
doing
Here
hardware you have to distribute. Nice, I don't know, to ship everywhere. It's like must be really hard.
so they have like the supply chain down. They got the building the actual chips and stuff down. The government doesn't really help out any of the smaller players to get big and do competition. If you had true competition, the price of GPUs would either be the same, even if they're getting better, or they would be coming down. And clearly, they're not. If there was real competition in terms of price and the technology, then you could do that. And it's not like there's a lack of know-how, because there's a bunch of employees at AMD. There's a bunch of employees at NVIDIA. They could take that knowledge, spin off, and start a company, but they know better. They know that they're going to get crushed. So there's no real competition in this space. So NVIDIA is the big player, crushing it with revenue and whatnot. Let's see here. I'm gonna try this plugin that you shared. How do I can show it and I can hide it, but I can't highlight it. You send it to me in the private chat also.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be cool if the government actually cared about competition and like gave grants and loans to actually have the bigger players have real competition. Because if you had real competition, real capitalism,
prices should go down. Yeah.
they only go up, and everything also costs more. So same thing with like the iPhone. They're raising the price of the iPhone year over year. I think they're going to raise it. How much is the iPhone now? It's like in the States.
Here
like
it's like
for you guys pay the premium.
Yeah, we can't pay it here.
So let's check out this NVIDIA broadcast. I got the Argentinian version here. Oh,
I sent you the Spanish link.
yeah, it converts it automatically, so I get it in English, but I don't want to download the Spanish link. Let's see if I can do. This is called broadcasting app.
It's called NVIDIA Broadcast. Yeah.
AI powered voice. So it'll fix my voice too.
Yeah, it has some noise removal, but I guess it's the same as most headsets.
And it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Let's see here. Go to desktop browser, Dell NVIDIA browser. All right, I'll check it out later. Let's see here. Other stuff that's going on in the news. The big thing is all the U.S. media companies are talking about how Russia is unstable and it's a shit show in Russia. But then the guy who started the coup is like forgiven. They're like, oh, Putin had like one of his other guys say that he talked Putin out of destroying the Wagner group and destroying the one leader. It's like, no, this is like, the media just piling on, trying to show that Putin's weak, right? And I don't think I think it was we talked about this yesterday, that it's more of a play to suss out the unloyal. So whoever jumped on, you're gone.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of articles out today about Russia is unstable and that Putin's a weak leader. It's just exposing his weak leadership. Political, Washington Post, The Telegram, Financial Times, The Conversation, the CNN, The Globe and Mail, The Daily Beast, CNN International, Financial Times. Like they're just piling on here with this narrative. And we've seen before that when the state-run, it's pretty much state-run media here in the U.S. and probably worldwide, where they have the government always has a big influence in the narrative that the media has to push. And so they probably like make Putin look weak now, right? That's the main thing we're going to drive. And then they're also doubling down on that and saying like, well, we see that Putin is weak. This is the time now to send more money to Ukraine to go and fight. So it's just like they're generating a narrative to go and push consent amongst the people that are sending money, especially the U.S. because we're sending the most money out of everybody, to go and hand over more money. Don't spend the money on your own people, the homeless, or maybe more money towards investigations of the child sex slave trades that are going on. We saw the video yesterday. Let's focus on the Ukrainian war. That's where the money should go. Forget your domestic issues. We only care about our foreign friends in the Ukraine. There's the second most influential and significant score for articles in the CNN about Russia stationing nuclear weapons in Belarus. So me and Fede have friends in Belarus because we have a Teledoc used to have an office in Belarus. They shut it down starting in, I think, August 1st. They're shutting down the office. So pretty much all the U.S. companies are pulling out of Belarus. There's a bunch of smart people that are there. They're pretty much being told by the employer, if you want to stay in Belarus, you can't work for us. You have to come to Poland. So they're trying to do like a brain drain of all these countries. Same thing was happening.
Yeah, and it wasn't that easy to move to Poland from Belarus. I don't know now, but a few months ago, it was like you won't be allowed to cross, or it would be like really hard.
Yeah, so this is also a tactic to weaken your opponent, which is cause instability there, be the major employer of all the smart people, and then force those smart people to move out. So you're just going to lose all your top earners and ruin your economy that way. So it's a pretty subtle tactic of employing pain through a brain drain.
Yeah.
And we have our friend Sergey. He actually moved out of Belarus, moved to Poland, moved his whole family. Yeah. Now he's working in Poland. So, and he's a smart guy. Pretty much we got, he came over to the good guys, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing's happening now. And some people are, of course, refusing because they don't want to leave home. Belarus is their home.
Yeah.
And now they got nukes. So I definitely wouldn't want to be living around that region. Belarus, Ukraine, Poland, that's going to be like World War III start zone.
Yeah, not the best place to.
Yeah, so
I think we here in Argentina is like the safest city if we have like a nuclear war.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but
well, you guys are so like maybe Buenos Aires is fucked because that's a obvious target, but no one's be thinking about Bahia Blanca.
Yeah.
So let me see if there's any other articles that are worth massive fraud of COVID relief funds out of the it's like $1 trillion or something. 200 billion of that was essentially stolen by charlatans, right? So like the U.S. Small Business Administration like gave money to folks that didn't really need it. They didn't really use it for economic recovery. They padded their pockets. So that was under Trump's administration, and even Trump, when they're pushing Trump like, hey, we want to have oversight, Trump was like, no oversight. So I'm sure that all this is, remember we talked about Daniel, and like the contemptible one will make all of his people rich.
Yeah.
Like, this is part of. I think if you believe that he pretty much took a huge chunk of that money and then gave it to his friends, taxpayer money to his friends. And it's not even money that we have because we're so in debt. We're $30 trillion in debt. It was just like we took out a loan on our children's future to pay the corrupt people now,
To make a
and
few
then
guys, yeah, rich.
make a few people rich, and then we're gonna go and pay interest on all that money for foreseeable future. And I don't think it's sustainable, right? At some point, we're gonna default on our debts because we don't have enough money to pay the interest, right? You can't. I guess you can take out more loans to keep paying off the interest. It's just like this horrible pyramid scheme that we're in.
That's Argentina.
That's most of the world running on debt,
Yeah.
right? So, um, I wonder if they're going to go after those people that stole all that money. $200 billion is a good amount of money, and it's like when COVID happened and they were doing PPP loans, like anyone could show up and say, I have a business, I need $1 million to keep paying these people. And then they would take the money, they would fire their people, and then they'd be like, well, I guess I'm just going to keep this money.
Oh, it was like low interest or
No interest, relieved,
oh,
free money.
oh,
Yeah. So you're
nice.
supposed to take the money and pay for your employees because you're not getting customers and stuff because of COVID. And then these people took the money and then did whatever they wanted with it. Right. And then we're just like, oh yeah, I'll keep all my employees, and then you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. So if you look at this is something that Biden touts is like his high job creations. He's saying he created 13 million plus jobs, and then compares it to Trump. Trump created negative amount of jobs, but it's not fair because you're comparing to COVID, where there was no jobs, everybody's in lockdown. To
Here it was like it was forbidden to fire your employees for like 2 years. Like if you fired, you had to pay like
big fines.
a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, here it was like we're going to give you free money on the promise that you're not going to fire your employees. I don't know if there was like written into the rules like you have to pay fines, or probably not because people are letting go people anyway. Yeah, it was a great time for you to have a business and to get free money. And I'm sure some people, they did the right thing. They took that money and they paid their employees.
Yeah.
But they're saying here that 200 billion of it is just like fraud, straight fraud. So that's a big number. But in the U.S., those billions, I don't know, we throw around numbers like trillions and billions, and it's like we gave 130 billion
You just keep printing.
Yeah, we'll just keep printing more money. Who gives a shit? This was an interesting one. We talked about fake alien attacks and all this other stuff in the Washington Post and in a few other outlets. They talk about a potential internet outage due to solar storms, which can apparently wipe out internet connectivity. And I would imagine if you're able to wipe it out in all of the US, it's probably a worldwide thing. I don't think it's like the solar storm is like, I'm going to attack the US, right? I'm going to take it out the internet worldwide. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories about like when shit hits the fan, they're going to say, we're going to turn off the internet, probably worldwide. And then maybe the only people that have internet are like the SpaceLink people, right? If you paid for SpaceLink, your internet works, and you're off the grid, so your power still works because you have what's the solar thing that Elon Musk sells?
I don't know.
So your car will work because you're on, off the grid, getting your power off your solar panels. But you have like a Tesla battery installed in your house, and then you have Tesla internet or what it's called.
Starlink.
Yeah. So maybe if you bought into like the Elon Musk way of living,
the whole package. Yeah.
If you bought the whole package, you're going to be okay. Except for you won't be able to eat because they're probably the
It's
trucks
called
are going
the X package. No,
yeah,
that's a good name.
Armageddon package, yeah. The everything package, yeah. Yeah, I don't have any. I have a Tesla, and that's about it. My internet will be out. I don't know what I would do. But how can I send my bill? How do I pay my bills if I can't get on the internet?
You have to go and pay your bills, like old times.
Actually,
Go to the office.
go to the office, give them a check, and then they're
Yeah.
like, "Sorry, we can't cash this. We don't have internet." So
Right.
I did get checks, so I do have a backup just in case of pay people in checks. But I could probably print phony checks and just start handing out fake checks to everybody here. I
They
would like
can't.
to buy everything with this check. Catch me if you can. Okay, so I think we've addressed the critical scores, and we use, if you're interested, we use this website called Muse Minimalist, and which takes all the news articles that happened from yesterday and then has them read by ChatGPT and then gives them the score, groups them and then gives them the score. So you can see like the top one talking about how Putin is weak and we should fund more Ukrainian war. That got the highest score. So that's kind of how we get our news articles based off of what ChatGPT says to us. Everything is driven by AI.
Yeah.
And
I want to share this clip that is really fun.
Go for it.
From Silicon Valley. Did you watch the TV show?
Which one?
Silicon Valley?
Oh, Silicon Valley. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to share the
It's
screen?
the clip for no revenue. Yeah. Let me check. I love that show. This one. Do you see it?
Go for it.
Right. Richard, one potential issue, our hosting fees could become a challenge as we scale.
Right, but we can offset a lot of that once we get a few customers and start a subscription revenue model.
What? Revenue? No revenue. I'll call you back. What? Why would you go after revenue?
Because to make money?
No. If you show revenue, people will ask how much, and it will never be enough. The company that was the 100Xer, the 1000Xer becomes the 2X dog. But if you have no revenue, you can say you're pre-revenue. You're a potential pure play. It's not about how much you earn. It's about what you're worth. And who's worth the most? Companies that lose money. Pinterest, Snapchat, no revenue. Amazon has lost money every fucking quarter for the last 20 fucking years, and that Bezos motherfucker is the king.
The king.
There's no revenue. No one wants to see revenue. Go.
I just thought that mainly the goal of companies is to make money.
Yeah, no. That's not how it works. I don't want to make a little bit of money every day. I want to make a fuck ton of money all at once. ROI. ROI. You know what that stands for?
Return on
investment.
Nope. Radio on internet.
Radio on internet.
Radio show.
Yeah, that when I watched Silicon Valley, there was a lot of like parallels when I started my first startup, because there's a episode on there where they hire an artist to spray paint the logo. I don't know if you remember that episode.
Yeah,
we did that too.
on a garage.
Yeah, it was in the garage. It was actually in our office. We spray painted app scale, like with cool spray paint and stuff. And I was like, So there's like if you do the startup journey and you get funded and that sort of stuff, you'll blow money on stupid shit like that. Hiring an artist to spray paint and just invest your money. OPM, other people's money. You're spending it on stuff that it brought us joy, but it didn't help our product at all. If you hear the story about Amazon, they talk about they made it so the culture was all about being frugal, right? So one thing about Amazon that I like is like the prices are low, right? They're able to compete, and if you're gonna buy something, chances are you're finding on Amazon cheaper than anywhere else. Same with Walmart. Walmart keeps the prices low, right? Which is what you're supposed to get from capitalism. But they're also like starving out all the competitors, right? The prices are so low, no one else can come in and compete because they're not going to make any money because everybody just goes to Walmart. They're the low cost provider. So it's like in capitalism, you can either go the route of you have the monopoly, you set the prices year over year, you can charge more, you charge premium, or you can go the other route, which is we're going to be a low cost provider. Amazon for a long time didn't make any profit. The revenue kept going up, but they weren't making any profit. And then they did like AWS, and that started generating a good amount of stuff. But they would just take the money and reinvest it in the business. So we made this much money. Instead of saying we made profit, we're going to buy another data center. And we'll keep plopping up data centers everywhere.
Yeah,
so,
keep growing.
Yeah, they reinvested the money into growth. So, but yeah, Silicon Valley, that great show, and it mocks the startup culture. Like, don't make money, that's stupid. Right?
Yeah.
That we're not going that route with Upmortem. Upmortem's like, we need to make money. We're not necessarily in it to flip it for $1 billion. We're trying to make a cash cow that can sustain us.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we were the other route, we would just try to aim for we would make everything free and then just try to get user base, and then we go around just pitching like, look, we're pre-revenue, where we've generated so many people installs, right? And they could potentially become paying customers. We don't know if that's the case or not, but look over our quarter-over-quarter growth in users that are using our free product. And then we do the premium model, and you'll see like 1%, maybe 2% of those people turn to paying customers. Meanwhile, you have all the freeloaders that are using the service. I don't know. What's your favorite free service?
The ones I use the most, probably Discord. Yeah, Discord is the app I use the most, I guess.
Do you feel like Discord does a lot of ads? Like there's like the boost thing, the server bump?
No ads, at least. No, I don't have any ads.
I think it's if you're actually hosting it, you get more. They try to push you to pay for some weird stuff like bumping servers or something like that.
Oh yeah, probably.
So
Yeah, you
like,
can pay to have like extra features, but yeah, the base version is pretty cool.
All right. Anything else? Otherwise, I have a speech to work on.
Go ahead.
All right.
Start working on it.
Let me know when you get the end-to-end going. I'll do a full test through thoroughly, and then give you some feedback, and then we'll do a relaunch of Haley, and I'll go and buy another cigar, and we'll do it all over again.
All right.
Which is what Airbnb did this. They did a launch, it fell flat, then they launched again, and then they coupled it with some other stuff for marketing purposes, and they took off. So if you fail once, you can try again, right? You have unlimited retries.
Yeah.
Because no one heard you the first time. Maybe the second time it'll catch the algorithm and shoot the roof. All right, Fede. Catch you later.
Thanks, Raj. Bye-bye.